remote start on it. It's a good idea to start it before operating anything. That way the battery is up fully. Press and hold the button down until the horn beeps, then the truck will start. Then you can start to open the truck up, bring the platform down. We've already got it open. I'm going to pull the seat out. Pull the seat out. There are two things you need to do to get it pulled forward. There's a red button over here that's going to release the Q lock, and there's a pull handle down there that's going to release the seat lock. So if I push that, you hear the clunk. Pull this, pull the seat forward just a couple of inches so I can get behind it. And then you have to unplug the seat. Press down on the red tab, pull the sleeve over, pull the lever over until it unlocks and pops out. Always remember to unplug the seat. Push the seat out. You have to lift up on the back of the seat to get it over the lock. Now we're ready. Jonah can just back in with his chair. Backs in, locks in, set up his seat belt, get everything ready that way, and then he can bring the platform in. We're going to leave it out right now. I do the keys. Sorry. Okay, then if it was already started with the remote start, if it was started with the remote start, when you get into the vehicle, it's going to tell you. The information center down at the bottom lets you know what's going on. And this is saying vehicle started using remote start option. Press ignition to switch to normal mode. So that's just letting you know when you started with this, nothing's trying to boot up. It's just starting the engine. So once you're in, you just have to hit the start button. Now it's going to get ready to start booting up. Let the system do everything it needs to do. Watching the bottom, this is telling us that the system is not aligned. Steer to the left. The arrows line up and it automatically continues on with its boot up sequence. While it's booting up, try not to move any of the controls because the system is reading everything and needs to make sure that everything is double checked okay. When it's okay, it's going to come on and say gas brake not booted, manually test. All you need to do is give it a little bit of gas, a little bit of brake. Now it's going to say steering not booted. Go like a half turn either way and then back again, and it tells you that the system's okay. Now it's going to change and it says AVIT 2.0 is operating properly. Everything's all set, ready to go. From this point, forward is gas, back is brake, steering. Okay. For the AVIT system, we have a disconnect down here, a manual disconnect for the steering. Right now it's connected. If it was not connected, we would have a tone letting us know. That tone is saying that the steering is not connected. That locked back in, tone went out. There's a switch in there. There's a pull pin right here for disconnecting the system or reconnecting the system. The knob all the way out is set for AVIT mode. By pulling the pin and pushing it down, that disengages the AVIT mode, and that means it can be driven with the steering wheel. Always put the safety pin back into the second hole. It's a lot easier to do it while the platform is out because there's not much room in here. But that way there, this knob can't pop back out or disengage. So now from here, you have everything on your secondaries in here. Secondaries are your park, reverse, drive, windows, park brake, cruise, lights, wipers. Then from there you have also your HVAC controls, heating and air conditioning, that mounted down here. This toggle switch right here is for this headrest. With the headrest out like this button is for what's called digitone. Digitone is like a do-re-mi type system, and each tone represents one of the secondary functions. Tone 1, horn. Tone 2, left turn. Tone 3, right turn. Tone 4, wipers. If I hold it again to tone 4, wipers will go to high speed. If I hold it when I hit tone 4, if I let go and then hit it again and hold it, I will squirt the windshield. If I just let go of it, it'll shut the wipers off. Tone 5 is cruise. That turns it on. Once it's on, run it through and hit tone 5 again while you're driving, and it'll set the speed. When it's all set, same thing applies. When you give it brake, it'll disconnect the system. Tone 6 is high beams. Hit it again, and it goes back to low beams. Those functions are also on here. This just makes it easier so it's hands-free. Also, because the brake has to be applied with your right hand, you can't, unless you reach across with your left to put it into gear. We've got secondary buttons on the door. You would just hold the brake, press whichever button you need for gear selection, and wait for it to go into that gear, and then you're ready to go. Park brake. If you need to apply the park brake, if you are holding the brake and give it excessive force, it'll also apply the park brake as a safety feature. It's extra braking in panic type stop. If you press and hold the icon, it applies the park brake. Press and hold again, and it releases the park brake. Cruise would work the same way here as with the digitone. You would hit it once, it would turn it on. Hit it again, it would set the speed. Interior lights, on and off. Headlights, you can also put high, shut them off. Parking lights, headlights. You can do directionals. They're a little tough to see on here, but there's one. There's the other. If you press and hold, 4 ways come on. Emergency flashes. Same thing with the digitone. If you press and go to the second tone for, say, left turn, and press it again and hold it, the 4-way flashes will come on. Press it to that tone again and you can shut the 4-ways off, or shut your directional off if need be. Windows do not have an automatic up and down feature anymore, but it does get controlled through here. So passenger window, hold it, and it'll go all the way down. Hold it, it'll go up. If I let go, it stops. Next time I hit it, reverse direction. So to put it all the way up, it has to be press and hold. It'll always revert to the next direction each time you press it. Door locks. Okay, unlocked right now. This icon is for the HVAC, which does not apply to this vehicle. That's why we have this. This is what's used to access the heating controls and air conditioning controls. So this will not do anything if you did go into that screen. If you tried to change the fan speeds, it will not change. Hit home, brings us back again. aux 1, 2, 3 takes you to the mirrors. Aux 1 is going to decide which mirror you want to change by the arrow. We're on that mirror now. Up and down, it'll go up. If I let go, press it again, it'll go down. Same thing, if I press it again, it'll go back up. Always reverting back and forth. Same thing, in and out. Mirrors are adjusted. Aux 4. We have not programmed into this. It's a preference type thing. There is no option that's really needed to have an aux 4 as of yet. It can be programmed in later. Wipers down in the lower corner here, same thing. If I press it once, we have low. Press it again, we'll have high. Press and hold, and it'll squirt. Press it one more time, and it'll stop. Q-lock for the lockdown will not release while the truck is running. The truck has to be shut down, then this will work, or the red button on the door will unlock the Q-lock for the wheelchair. To shut down the system, press and hold the stop button. System will shut down. Again, if there's anything that's going on, read over here and it'll tell you. It's telling you that it's shutting down the system. Right now it's saying excessive servo force on the steering, only because as this thing released the steering wheel, the wheels turned, it can feel it in the system and it's reading it. If I press and hold this, and press one more time, I can make it go to sleep. Otherwise the timer will run out and in 5 minutes time the system shuts down and goes to sleep. Now if somebody was to need to drive the truck without the AVIT system, they need to put the seat back in. Again, as they're bringing it in, lift up the back to get it over the Q-lock. Standing in back of it makes it easier, so you can see that rear pin. Line that up as the seat's coming in and lock the seat into both systems. You'll hear an audible click as it locks in. Take the plug and plug it back into here and flip the lever up. That'll lock the plug in place. There's another plug inside of here that you would take this end off. This is for the restraint system, having to do with airbags and everything else, seatbelt light. This is the shunt for it. This is only in when Jonah's driving from his wheelchair. That way there it simulates having the seat in. When the seat goes back in, plug in the large plug in this plug. Now the seat is set up just like it was from day one from Chevrolet. When the seat comes back out, make sure this piece goes back in it. Always keep it with the vehicle. That can be tucked right back inside there. Seat would be locked in, everything would be plugged in. Before you get too far, pull the safety pin, then pull the detent pin. You have to push it down to disengage. Whenever you pull that pin, it's always going to try and pop out to try and engage the system. So now we've got it pushed in, the pin locked in, put the safety pin back in. Again, it's easier doing it by getting down in front of it because we have limited area over here. Now the system is disengaged. When you wake this up, press the red button here, warning screen, you hit accept. Here's your home screen. The ignition is still off. When you press the start button, watch down here, and the information area is going to change, and it's going to tell you if you want to disengage the primaries, which is steering and gas brake. you need to press the icon.